CEO of Roblox says child predators on the platform are an opportunity. What the actual fuck is happening, bro? What's good, guys? Kel here. Hopefully all you guys are having an absolutely amazing day. I recently did all my Christmas shopping and goddamn I'm broke as hell. But enough about me, because none other than the Roblox CEO, David Baszucki or whatever his name is, did a recent interview for the New York Times, and it genuinely might have had the most horrific ending I've ever seen. I mean, at one point David literally said that he was thinking about implementing a gambling feature for kids on the platform. What the fuck are we doing here? Real quick though, before we get too deep into this absolute atrocity, I noticed that like 90% of you guys aren't subscribed, so if that's you, subscribe. Also, thanks for all your comments. Alright, back to the video. So yeah, dude, the entire interview was an absolute shit show, but before we get into all the outrageous moments, I did want to share one little part where the interviewer notices David is getting frustrated, and well, David's response just makes no sense whatsoever.
I mean, look, I can tell you're getting a little bit frustrated here.
I'm actually not frustrated. I'm so excited to talk. I thought we were going to be talking about funny things in the industry and all of that. So I'm not frustrated. I'm just kind of figuring out how much fun time I have with you guys and how much fun time we have versus kind of this super focus.
Bro's gotta be off his meds. Genuinely, what does that even mean? What the fuck is fun time? I feel like David pulled up to the podcast expecting some chill, easy questions about dress to impress or whatever. But surprise, surprise, the interviewer was actually doing their job and trying to find good information about the company. Now, the main reason I wanted to share that clip with you guys is because I think it really sums up just like how disconnected and lost David seems to be throughout the entire interview. I mean, some of the shit he says later in the podcast is actually some of the most outrageous stuff I've ever heard. We're just scratching the surface here. So yeah, the podcast host started out by talking to David about Roblox's general attitude towards protecting kids on the platform, saying, "You've joined us today to talk about this new age gating policy that Roblox is rolling out to protect kids. And I think we should start by just talking about the scope of the problem here. What has led you to this point?" And instead of actually addressing the question, David decided to say something that was honestly just concerning.
And how do you think of the problem of on Roblox?
We think of it not necessarily just as a problem, but an opportunity as well. How do we allow young people to build, communicate, and hang out together? How do we build the future of communication at the same time?
Dude, we think of it not necessarily just as a problem, but an opportunity as well. An opportunity for what exactly, Mr. Baszucki? An opportunity for you to enable predators on your platform? There's been so many Roblox stories at this point that it's not even funny. A YouTuber by the name of Schlep has actually done a bunch of work trying to expose these predators and has actually caught a bunch of map developers that were using their status to exploit children. The thing is, although the police commended him for his work, Roblox themselves wanted nothing to do with the situation, and I think actually ended up banning his account or something. No matter how it gets painted, me and my team got 6 predators arrested within the Roblox community in under a year. I sleep well at night knowing these people will not be able to abuse any more children on Roblox. My work will always have amounted to something. Shout out to Schlep, man, like doing God's work out here. Keep in mind, Roblox's response to Schlep exposing all these people was to put out a public statement saying that they don't allow predator catchers on their platform. Just pause and deep that for a second. A platform with a known child predator issue doesn't want predator catchers to be active on their platform. What the fuck? But yeah, man, knowing that there are tons of predators using Roblox to achieve their up goals just makes what David said even worse. He knows that his platform is being used by these individuals to prey on children, but instead of addressing the actual issue, he calls it an opportunity. Like, what the fuck is up with that? The interviewer also asked him about the issue point blank, and well, here's what he had to say. So here's the interviewer. Yeah, I mean, you mentioned sort of kids leaving the platform, and it does become clear in those lawsuits that Roblox is kind of, you know, where go to find kids. Goddamn, bro. But then they do try to, and then David interrupts the question saying, "Well, I would say in the lawsuit or the press, yes, I would categorically reject the actual description of what you're saying. But yes, what you might read in the news would portray it that way, but Then the interviewer interrupts with, "You don't think you have a problem with on the platform. I think we're doing an incredible job at innovating relative to the number of people on our platform and the hours, and really leaning into the future of how this is gonna work." Bro, he just doesn't answer the question at all. What he should have said is, yes, we obviously have a problem on the platform. I know it, you know it, the whole world knows it. But instead, he does the whole corporate speaking thing where you throw in a bunch of buzzwords and end up not really answering the question at all.
Your activist fund and short seller Hindenburg Research came out with a report arguing, among other things, the Roblox was, quote, compromising child safety in order to report growth to investors. One of the things they pointed to was that there had been a decline in your spending on trust and safety. You have denied that. Why? What did they have wrong?
So fun. Let's keep going down this. And
brother, this guy's business is being called out as a pedophile hellscape for kids, and his response is so fun. I can't, bro. There's absolutely no way that this guy actually cares about fixing the problem in the slightest. I'm sure his only goal in life is to profit off of children and exploit them for God knows what behind the scenes.
And say we figured out the best way to do that is to do it with better and better AI models. Would you pick that?
Yeah.
Good. So you're aligning with what we did. High five.
But I've also been covering social networks.
Thank you for supporting. Thank you for supporting our Roblox decision matrix.
I also remember 15 years ago.
I'm so glad you guys are aligned with the way we won Roblox.
Right. I also remember 15 years ago when Mark Zuckerberg was saying,
"Is this a stealth interview where actually you love everything we're doing and you're here to stealthily support?"
Yo, he seems so nervous, bro. I can practically see the sweat dripping down off of his slimy cheeks. It honestly makes me a little uncomfortable watching him speak. Like, the guy looks like some kind of lizard with a mask made out of human skin or some shit. Ugh. By the way, that part where he asked him if this whole thing was a stealth interview or whatever makes absolutely no sense. After the interview went live, one of the hosts made a tweet saying that Roblox were actually the ones that wanted to do the interview in the first place. To be clear, Roblox pitched us on interviewing their CEO about child safety. We don't ambush people. But he seemed totally caught off guard by the questions and got angrier the more we asked. Like, dude, that's actually so funny to me. The Roblox CEO wanted to do an interview to give information on their child safety policies and then got mad when he was asked about Roblox's child safety policies. Make it make sense. You can just tell that the guy cares more about the image and perception of the Roblox brand rather than the actual safety of the children on there. I mean, he can't even work up the nerve to actually say that Roblox has a problem in the first place.
So first off, Hindenburg's no longer in existence, correct? So you should report on that. They went out of business for some reason. The other thing is, have you researched that information? Because you're asking me about this. I'm curious if you've done your own research.
I have done some research about.
And what's your take on that?
I'm asking you.
Dude, what is he even trying to do here? It seems like he's trying to flip the script and like interview the interviewer or something. I mean, what a sassy response. The interviewer's whole job is to get information out of you, not the other way around. People want to know about the information and opinions you have because guess what? You're the Roblox CEO. You should know more about Roblox than anyone. Like, bro, this guy has gotta be evil. There's absolutely no way he's not hiding something behind the scenes.
Would you ever put a prediction market inside Roblox? Like, let kids bet with their Robux and say, I bet he's going to steal a tung 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 sahur.
Or I bet he's not going to dress to impress.
Yeah.
I think we would have to do that. Once again, I'll share some of the complexity.
Yeah.
Every single country in the world has different legislation around loot boxes and kid gambling. Mm-hmm. And so we would have to be, it sounds very fun and obvious. Like, I love that.
Oh, to be clear, I think this is a horrible idea. I was just interested if you were thinking about it.
Well, I actually think it's a brilliant idea if it can be done in an educational way that's legal.
Yes. Honestly, start them as young as possible, dude. If you ask me what we need more of in this world, I'd probably tell you kid gambling. I'm not even gonna lie. Nah, but in all seriousness, what the fuck was that clip? I love how the interviewers are trying to make a joke about implementing child gambling, and then David, the Roblox CEO by the way, just goes, yes, that is actually a brilliant idea, and I think we should begin its implementation. I'm sorry, what?
Imagine a no free Robux, no free prizes, just a game called the Dress to Impress Predictor, where it's not like trying to get kids money or anything like that. I would be a big fan of it.
Dude, this guy is actually so bizarre. He spent the entire interview dodging questions about child on his platform and then decided to expose himself as a child gambling enthusiast. Get this guy out of here, bro. Like, what an absolutely horrendous interview, dude. I'm genuinely speechless at this point. But yeah, I mean, that's about all for the video. I linked the original podcast in the description if you want to take a look for yourself. But other than that, if you're new to my channel and want to stay updated with random internet news, be sure to go down and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 7K by the end of the year, and if I do, I'm gonna be doing an elbow reveal. So yeah, dude, you're not gonna want to miss out on that. As As always, it's been Mikkel, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later.